All right, hi everybody, and welcome to another Dungeons and Dragons fan meetups. Um, I'm Jeremy Johnston, one of your fan meetups ambassadors, and I'm joined by.
Angelo Corsino. I'm going to be the DM and the other fan ambassador here today.
We're looking forward to a really exciting year of going to conventions, including all the great announcements that we saw just this week for Fan Expo Canada. So if you haven't seen it, hit up the website. You're going to be excited. Myself, I'm really wondering how I'm going to have time for D&D because there's going to be so many awesome people. Oh yeah, and so much money to spend on photo ops. The Four Hobbits, Superman, Star Trek: The Next Generation. Yeah, Fan Expo is going to be amazing this year.
There's
So
a lot of
if you
people
don't have,
coming out to this one.
yeah, if you don't have tickets, go grab them, and we'll be putting on Dungeons and Dragons there. While not official, it's like this close to being official, and so you'll be able to play with us
It's
after
it's official
hours.
adjacent.
Yeah, it's official, Jason. Yeah, we usually run Dungeons and Dragons after the con hours close, so I'm hoping to be able to do the same, assuming that the restrictions allow for it. So we'll be, playing epics and all that kind of stuff at night, and keeping the party going. Maybe at Stormcrow afterwards, as per usual. But
He says maybe like we don't go after every day.
yeah, as soon as I can make reservations, I will. But yeah, like all of our fan meetups, we try to keep this, family friendly or PG. We also have a chat, so if you want to ask some questions, we've opened up the Q&A. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can just leave a question in the comments, and we're more than happy to answer. So with that, I think we're ready to go, Angelo.
All right. So if you would like to pop our lovely landing page so that we can do some quick character introductions before we see how quickly we can get Barry to fall over. Uh, All right, so starting with the one I was most excited for when I heard people's characters that they were making, we have Montoya. Please let us know who Montoya is, Kyle.
Uh, average height, little crow-headed man. Nice rapier at his side. Looks like he's been out on the ocean a lot, maybe working with a couple other allies traveling the seas. Walks up to the group and says, "Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die." Oh wait, no, you didn't. So it's a Kenku swords buckler. So swords bard and swashbuckler.
All right. Next we have, is that Sister Lucy?
Yes, it is. So Sister Lucy is a tall, red-headed human cleric of Lathander. Although her, I guess her faith appreciates her bountiful enthusiasm for spreading the light of her deity. They think she's a little overzealous. She knows that in this dangerous world, though the night is dark and full of terrors, the divine light of the dawn has the power to burn those evils away. She is a light cleric and likes to cast fireball.
As all good
Awesome.
light clerics should.
Team Fireball for the win.
Next we have Lord Stone Skull.
Yes, Lord Stone Skull is a mountain dwarf covered in half plate and furs. He wields a magical warhammer, but he's actually a sorcerer. So that's about it.
Sounds good. Moving on to Shrimp.
Yeah, we have another mountain dwarf who is actually small for his size, often confused with a halfling, but he makes up for it with a magical belt. And he loves to overcompensate for his smallness and thought the best way to do so would be go after some of the largest things he could find.
And then last but not least, we have Umbres.
All right, so Umbres is a flying tiefling Sorlock. Loves to hide in the shadows above the rest of the party and rain down Eldridge Blasts. Because what else would a
So
warlock
anyways,
do?
started blasting. All right.
Yep.
All right, so in this is very, very, very simple. You guys are gladiators, and you guys all end up in this pit match against these 5 giants. And with that,
Hold on, let me keep zooming out here because where are we even? There we are. Okay. Move the turn order tracker. Cool.
all right. So with that, if we could get initiatives from everyone, that would be great.
Hey, I'm not going last for once.
That's impressive.
Only have to have a +9.
You say that like it still wasn't probable that you were going to end up going last anyway, Kyle.
Yes, my dice hate me.
All right, and then last one from me. All right. So, Lord Stone Skull moving fast.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let's go ahead, and he'll start off by twin casting Enemies Abound.
It's a good one.
And he'll do it on the front too. So the Hill Giant and what is the other one? A Frost Giant?
That's a Cloud Giant.
Cloud Giant. So the
Hill Giant's known for their extraordinary intelligence and wisdom.
Yes.
Yep, that's not going to pass. And then the Cloud Giant. Oh, this is an intelligence save, right?
Yes, 17.
All right. Oh, natural 1, not going to do it. All right, so both of them have been enemies abounded.
Small-minded fools. All right, take a step back.
Yep.
And that is it for his turn.
Sounds good. Montoya.
Is liking that concept. That's range 120. Yeah, the big old sword at the back here.
Yep.
I would also love him to make an intelligence save for enemies.
I'm noticing a theme here.
I like it.
Yes, get them to hit each other.
Yeah, everybody tuned in to see giants fighting. Let's be real about this.
Exactly.
Yeah, 13 ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, that's all for me.
Okay. So the first giant we have on the docket is our Storm Giant. Storm Giants are known for their actual pretty good intelligence. They're the general, like the leading class of the giants. And he watched you confuse 2 of his allies, Lord Stone Skull, and he goes, and hucks a giant lightning bolt at you, and I need you to make a dex save.
Seems appropriate. 16.
16 fails.
Yep.
So you take 58 lightning damage.
Oh my
You will do an absorb on that. So,
It's like
knock
we're
it down
gonna suck some of that up. Yeah, that makes sense.
How many hit points do you have?
That would have dropped them without the absorb. Let's just put it that way. So get a concentration check on Abound.
22.
Yep, you're good. And then he's just gonna run up his movement speed, which is 50 feet because they got long legs, and start getting a little closer to you guys. Umbres.
All right. I'm usually flying, so I'll still be flying. I'm going to cast Darkness on myself. And I'm going to fly up a little higher. Is there a ceiling to this arena?
Yeah, the dome's like 50 feet up. You're fine.
Okay. All right. So I'll just kind of hide around there. And I think I'll quicken a Eldridge Blast.
All right. You'd have to do it in the other order.
Actually,
but,
I'm going to do it in the other order. Yeah. My bad.
Because that's you have to
quicken
do
the
it.
Darkness and then do the Eldritch
Yeah, there you go.
Blasty Blast. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to shoot the storm giant. I think that's the one that's
Reasonable. It's the
closest.
one that's running forward and throwing big lightning bolts.
Yeah, and I'm going to use Grasp of Vidar to pull him up into the air while I do it.
Yeah, gotta hit him,
Um,
but sure.
And let's see if I can hit him with some advantage.
Mhm.
So
24
24 to hit. And another one, I don't think 14 will.
The second one would be a straight roll because your grasp that you were saying is going to pull him up and knock him prone. So 11
Well,
would miss anyway.
Yeah, 14's going to miss regardless, but I'm assuming
Yeah.
the Eldridge Blast is pretty quick enough that he's not falling quite like immediately. I don't know.
Oh no, falling happens instantly.
Okay.
As soon as you go up, you go down. But either way,
That's it for me.
the second one would have missed anyway. So that moves us to the giant who is abounded. And let's see, can't distinguish friend from foe. So it's going to decide on what it wants to do based on randomness because everything is an enemy. But this one's pretty big and close to it. So let's have some giants fight each other because that sounds like fun. This one moves up and with its big greatsword is gonna, carve into this hill giant. Now, fire giants are like the smiths of the giants. They've got like all of the various like metalworking because they tend to live in like hostile environments that have a lot of fire in them. So they're natural like they're smiths. So he's going to bring his greatsword down twice on this this hapless hill giant and carve into him for a lot of damage, which is going to bring us to Shrimp.
That will give the hill giant 2 saving throws against enemies.
And it was DC 17, I believe.
17 until.
Yeah.
He's unlikely.
Got a really, really good chance of making this with his -3.
It only needs a crit.
Yep.
Nice.
And neither of those is a critical, so he is still abounded. Shrimp.
If you go to -1, it just rolls back over to 20, right? That's how that
yeah,
works.
exactly. That's how I always roll it. No, that's not a thing.
Shrimp is going to psych himself out and go into a frenzy rage, as he is a frenzy barbarian, and he sees this nice giant that has been knocked down to a size that probably is still taller than him. And he is going to run up, and luckily because he is prone, he does not need to attack recklessly, so I won't invite that kind of trouble on myself.
That's such a cop-out for a barbarian.
I know.
Hey, I like I said, we're surviving more than one turn, maybe. So goals. I'm gonna attack. I will attack with Great Weapon Master at advantage, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I will roll that twice. Let's see here. First roll. That's a big old 10.
That will not hit. No,
that hits, right? Oh, okay. Well, we'll try again.
24 does.
Yeah, we'll take that 22 points of piercing damage on there as he shoves his pike into the side of this down giant. And that will be my barbarian turn.
All right. Next we got this cloud giant who is also abounded. Now, cloud giants are slightly smarter than fire giants, but he also is abounded. But he does have this one target that's prone that's about his size, and then this one who came up and stabbed it. So we're gonna, because of the hostility and the fact that there are two creatures that are pretty close together, and he doesn't know which one he thinks is more hostile, because the one is doing the stabbing to the one that's prone. We're gonna choose randomly. Barry, high or low?
Let's go with low.
Okay. Yep. So he's coming up. And he's like, he's gonna swing once each. It was gonna see whether it was 2 here or 1 and 1, because it's still a big target. So we'll do the friendly fire first for 18 piercing, and then it's gonna smash its morning star on to Shrimp if it can. 20 to hit.
20 will hit.
All right, so that's going to be 9 points of piercing because of the rage.
Okay, we will take that. Look at that.
All right, and then it brings us to Sister Fireball.
Sister Fireball. Well, I mean, she really wants to throw a fireball, but she's also seeing that her team is struggling a bit to like hit some of these things. So she's actually going to upcast a I can't reach Umbres. She's going to cast Bless on Shrimp, Montoya, and Stone Skull. And
Umbres
then
is also in darkness, so unless you have a way to see
also,
through
yeah,
that.
I'm like, where did that other person go? They just disappeared into this like cloud, and I just see like Eldridge Blasts, and I'm like, classic. And then she's gonna move back a couple steps, and that will be her turn. But you are, you're all blessed now. That'll be your turn. Fireball next turn.
All right, got it. That brings us to our other giant that isn't incapacitated in some way.
Shrimp is just up front cheering, like thinking everybody's rushing in behind him. Like, we got this.
People are. Shrimp runs forward, everyone else runs back. Did Montoya not make the initiative tracker? It doesn't look like it.
No,
Actually, what'd
I'm
you
up at the
roll?
top. I got a 22 there.
Oh, right, you cast Enemies Abound. That's right.
I did.
Okay, so now we have this frost giant. Can he even see Shrimp past this barbarian? Sorry, past these two giants? Probably not, really.
Yeah, let's go with that.
It's going to run up to here, and it sees 3 targets. One in the darkness, but it's not too bothered by that one just yet. And it can throw a big rock. Now, the funny thing is that there's no thing where these rocks come from, so they just find them. And they huck them. So we've got 3 targets. Let's roll the D3 and go left to right. 3. It's going for Stone Skull.
Oh yeah.
The tiny dwarf behind the large.
This
Like
does not
they're
seem very
ahead.
sporting.
It's
Well,
great.
it's a dwarf giant thing, you know.
27 to hit our friend the sorcerer
Yeah, shield ain't gonna help that.
for knockout bludgeoning damage.
Yep, he's down, and they're no longer affected by enemies.
One
abound.
still is.
No, the two, yeah, just the 2 that I affected.
Yeah.
You're still blessed and sleeping.
Yeah, so the cloud giant and the hill giant are no longer affected. The fire giant still is.
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to end its turn because they can either swing their weapon twice or throw 1 rock. The hill giant,
one rock.
the hill giant looks over at the guy and goes, "What the hell?" But he's no longer abounded, and he knows that this is a thing. But these guys are much slower. But he is still going to take the opportunity attack
Yes.
because hostile, and that definitely hits a hill giant. So this hill giant's looking pretty bad from getting beat on by his buddy, but you know. Enemies Abound is a good spell versus giants, everyone. They're not usually very bright. And with that 40-foot movement speed, can he get to Montoya from where he was? Just.
Don't like that answer, but okay.
You know. He's gonna take his big club because hill giants are like the lowest on the pecking order of the true giants. True in air quotes. We'll get into that a little bit more later, but they're the weakest of them by far, and they have the most crude and rudimentary gear, if any, and they have very simple like goals. Usually they just want lots of food. 24 to hit Montoya.
Surprisingly enough, that's gonna hit me.
Okay. For 14 bludgeoning. And then the 10 will not unless...
Hey.
Yeah, 16 AC. All right. So you 14 bludgeoning concentration check if you can fail it. I don't know what your stats are.
Not amazing.
Huh?
He's much
He's
more
a 10.
stabby.
Oh, there you go. Bless for the win.
Yep.
That's 3 on the bless die, saving the enemies abound for another turn.
That's such a good spell.
Lord Stone Skull, you are up.
Yes, for the first death save.
Yep.
17. There we go.
And one success, Montoya.
All right, time to run around and stab at things. So yeah, gonna. he's in the way, which is the annoying part of this. Gonna get to there and stab at him.
All right. Do you have anything to say to him?
You killed my father. Prepare to die. Hatcha! And yeah, sneak applies.
Yeah, because you are a swashbuckler. That hits for 20.
And can it please make me a strength save?
It sure can.
It sure can't. It's prone.
It is.
Nice.
Upside of the Giant Slayer. I will also gonna hold on. I'm gonna just stab at him again.
All right.
You killed your father. It seems like a reasonable thing to do.
Oh, yes. I would like him to promise me money.
21. Yeah, 21 hits, and because of the number that the fire giant did to this guy, that it's actually enough.
Cool. Just gonna, because I've attacked as a bard, just move slightly less right next to giants.
Sure.
Are you like strutting though, like all chuffed because you just?
Oh
killed
yeah.
the giant? Yeah.
I would say the line that would be appropriate right now, but this is a family friendly stream.
Fair enough. Anything else from Montoya?
All I've got. 1 second. Double check. I have spells. Oh yes. I am, I believe, lovingly in range. Lord Stoneskull, I feel like you'd like to be awake.
Sure.
Just napping.
Have 6 healing.
What would Montoya say for healing word? Because it does have verbal components, and I'm just curious.
Yes, I had. You are only mostly dead.
Yes.
Okay, good. If you didn't already have inspiration. All right, so this giant is going to stand, and it doesn't like that shrimp stabbed him, so it's gonna try to do something about that.
Yeah. I feel really good about where I am right now.
It's
You
20
are
to hit.
so brave. So brave.
A 20 will hit.
For 16 points of slashing.
Okay. What we're here for?
31.
That misses.
Okay, just checking. For 17 more slashing.
Yeah. Hey, we're still above half, you know?
Hey, it's not bad. And that brings us to Umbres.
Okay, so looks like everyone's standing up again. So I guess I'll just try to pull down people, but not on top of shrimp.
It doesn't work like
Question
that, where you don't. That's an optional rule in Tashes actually, and I won't ever use it.
Okay. All right, here we go. Umbres. Gonna do 2.
I don't want somebody casting cow meteors, but we can talk about that after.
Cow meteors. What do you mean?
It's a thing. We'll discuss. We'll bring that up later.
Okay, so and you were saying that when I do this, they basically fall instantaneously. Is that right?
Well, if you grasp and lift them into the air, they fall back down right away, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right then. Eldridge Blast, 2 different ones then. So I'll do the Storm Giant and the Cloud Giant. So 29 to hit, and then
that will hit both of them
to hit. Yeah.
And grasp is still once a turn.
Yeah. Pull them both up the 10 feet and drop them down. So I guess they take the other damage unless they're immune to it.
They are not. They do take the D6.
Okay.
But grasp is only once per turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
Yes.
Any bonus actions?
No, that's it.
All right. This fire giant, closest target's this frost giant. He's helping you guys out pretty good here.
MVP. MVP.
He's going to swing twice at Frosty.
Chop, chop.
That's 2 hits.
Yeah.
All right. And yeah, like we said last time, fire giants, really heavily armored, big great sword. They're a good mid-range giant for a level 9 party. Actually, the storm giants are probably a little strong, but we don't mind that here. Shrimp.
Shrimp is he's going full ham, frenzy barb now. We're gonna take 3 hits. We're gonna not go reckless because I got somebody down in front of me again. But we're still gonna get advantage. Let's see here. First attack. That's a 24 for 17. We will do my second attack. It's an 18.
Yeah, that's 2. The storm giants
Okay.
are hardier, but they aren't as heavily armored as fire giants.
That's 26, and then my third attack here. It's another 18 for 17. I'm going to reroll the damage on that, though, actually, because I have the Piercer feat.
There you go.
That's so I'll just reroll. I'll just reroll again, and we'll see. And hopefully, this will be the time I get a crit and mess everything up. I'll go at it's 19 instead of 17. So we got an extra 2 points of damage there.
Every point of damage counts.
It does.
Anything
and I am blessed as well. That's true. Thank you. I did not need it, but I felt it. It was an internal thing. It works.
Right.
We're good.
Yes.
Hashtag blessed, y'all.
Exactly.
Okay. So Cloud Giant's no longer bounded, and it's got this nice looking pinata in front of it. And it's going to take the Cloud Giants are usually like, they've also got a fair bit of like other interesting things that they could do. Like they do have some innate spell casting, which is kind of nice. And they, like I said, they're a little bit smarter than the other 2. They're the second strongest giants. And they're usually known for being more tricksters. They can do some pretty fun and interesting things, but like they can control the weather and such. It's pretty fun. And we're going to hit Shrimp twice with a Morning Star.
He kind of looks like Mr. Clean with like a JRPG haircut. And a 17 will miss.
I know, yeah, actually.
That's not an inaccurate description.
Yeah. Mr. Clean with fangs at a Renaissance fair.
Oh, wow.
The 22
There's a lot going on there.
He was offended after that one.
For 14 piercing damage.
Okay.
I'm the one with vicious mockery.
Well, I'm gonna have to change my name to Atlas after this, y'all. My shoulders are getting heavy. Let's pick it up here.
Okay, it brings us to Sister Lucy.
Okay, I would like to drop a fireball across all 3 giants.
Do you want to hit Shrimp as well?
No, can I put it like
just
okay?
At that.
Yeah, no, of course not. I believe in him. He's blessed. He is so blessed. Okay, so I'm gonna upcast that. Hold on. Whoosh. She just sends this plume, and she's like, "Be cleansed." And I need a DC 17 dex save, please.
What little of a beard Shrimp had been able to grow at this point is now just singed completely off his face. He swears.
Oh, that is an unhappy fireball roll. But they all failed, so there's that.
Yeah,
That's a me fireball.
Disappointing.
It's 4th level too, right? So like,
yeah,
it was that much more.
Yeah.
It's a lot of 1s and 2s in there, but do what I can.
Hey, on 3 fails, it was still 78 points of damage across, right? So
Cool. Yeah.
There's no bad fireballs.
That is absolutely true. I'm gonna
no, right.
just pitch back a little tiny bit, and that is my turn.
So this. So let's see. This guy's prone. This Shrimp's right here. Montoya's right here, and his buddy's hitting him, but he's like, "Dude, stop it! We're in a fight here." And he's gonna see whether or not he wants to go for Shrimp or for Montoya. Evens, he's going for Montoya. Odds, he's going for Shrimp. All right, so Montoya.
Entirely conceivable.
He's gonna take a swing at you with that axe. Yep.
Oof.
Ha.
So when giants crit, it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not even a good one. It's only 41. Sorry, 43.
Yeah, it's because
Exactly.
it's 43. I'm down.
That's actually kind of funny.
It was exactly 43.
what you needed.
And now his son in the stands has a whole new backstory. He's killed his father.
With like a Kool-Aid man. Oh
He-
yeah.
The rest of his
Oh,
40
yeah,
feet of
yeah.
movement to
Awesome.
get over to shrimp.
Oh, God.
Seems unnecessary. That'll hit. Yeah.
Yeah. For 10 slashing, like it's not that bad.
Okay.
Which brings us to Lord Stone Skull.
All right.
I need somebody.
Yeah, let's just keep it going. So he will once again twin cast enemy abound.
Oh yeah.
on
You
the
know what?
cloud
That's
and
the enemies
frost.
abound has done a lot of damage to them in this fight.
So
Yeah,
much.
yeah. I
Which
was
ones are
going to
you
try to
casting enemies
polymorph
abound on?
them, but we got to show what the giants can do as they beat on each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Which ones are you casting enemies abound on?
Cloud and frost.
Cloud and Frost. All right.
Nice.
So Frosty does not pass. And then our Cloud friend. Hey!
Oh, wow.
Boo.
We made a save, guys.
And bonus action, burn a second level spell to get 2 sorcery points back.
Sounds good.
All good.
Montoya.
Yep.
I would like a death save, please.
I would like it. Oh, wow. Wow, that would have been nice if it was too higher. Yeah, that's it.
Bless, it does count.
Yep.
Bringing us to our Storm Giant friend. Gonna stand back up. All right, what does he have that he wants to try to do that's fun? Does he get his lightning strike back?
He's got a cure wound he can throw my way, right?
He's got a cure greatsword.
Cool.
17 misses you though.
It does, yeah.
When you roll a 3.
Dodge and weave.
Teamwork, no reckless. I'm just going
Yeah.
in.
Oh,
That'll hit though. That'll hit.
Another crit.
I'm just gonna go to sleep for a while, guys.
Yeah, you're probably still maybe standing. I think you're just still standing after that. So
Did I do my math wrong?
Well, that's 57.
Yeah, 57. So it's going to be 28.
Okay. I have to add some health back.
Yeah.
Not quite time to sleep yet.
Not yet. Got excited, but not quite.
And then Umbres. Hey, you've lived almost 2 full rounds. You got 2 turns this time.
So
Umbres.
which ones have enemies abound on them?
Just this frost giant.
Just the frost giant, eh? I'm thinking of twin casting suggestion on.
Remember, suggestions have to be reasonable.
They have to be reasonable. Yeah. I'm sure I can make something reasonable. So I'm going to try casting it on the cloud giant and the fire giant by spending some sorcery points and twin casting it.
Yep.
And the suggestion is going to be that fire giants are higher than cloud giants on the pecking order, and that's worth fighting for the fire giant.
Okay.
And for the cloud giant, it's basically the reverse, saying that the fire giant is going to be higher on the hierarchy of giants, on the ordaining, and you better put him in his place.
All right, so the fire giant probably fails on a 14.
Yeah. Just a sec here. Let me just pop it here.
All right.
Wisdom 19.
Ooh. Cloud giants are actually fairly wise. but 15 isn't going to cut it when you roll low.
No.
Mhm. Hit him in the ego. Yeah, it's his
Okay.
friend. Yeah.
So we'll see how that suggestion pans out.
And
fu-
my darkness drops because this is a concentration spell.
Yes, it is.
But you know, I'm gonna do my best to maybe fly out of view.
All right. Just fly casual, right?
Yeah, totally. You got it.
Yeah.
No one will notice. No one will notice.
All right, so Fire Giant looks over and goes, "Yeah, you're right. I think maybe that's worth fighting for. We'll see how this goes." And he'll come up and he'll take a swing. We'll see if he takes how this goes. Hits the Cloud Giant
Oh, he's here for
twice.
That fire giant is our most effective ally.
He's amazing. Best familiar ever.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the Fire Giant's turn. Shrimp, you are still standing.
it. Oh, we're going reckless this time. We're getting that advantage.
Why not?
We're getting our damage in.
Might as
Let's
well.
do it. We're here
Who are you
for
swinging at?
it. We're going my dear old friend. I forget which giant that.
Still
lives
coming.
at
You've been
this
swinging
table.
at the Storm Giant this
Yeah,
whole
Storm
time.
Giant.
You went for the biggest of them.
The
Yeah.
storm giant's about to hear a little thunder, so let's do this. Let's go. That's a crit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
37.
Can I re-roll that D10 with Piercer? I believe.
Yeah, you can
Is it
roll. You
all
can
Piercer?
re-roll
Let's
that
do
one
it.
on the critical.
That checks out. That's 3 more points of damage.
Hey, three is better than
Take
nothing, right? That brings you up to an even 40.
40 points. Let's go
Damn.
again. That 10. Oh, I don't think
You're
we'll roll a
blessed.
D4. 14.
No, 14 doesn't quite get there.
Okay. We got a third hit.
No, that's frenzy, right?
24. That's 23 points.
24
right there.
hits. He's actually looking pretty rough at this point.
Is frenzy a bonus action attack?
It is.
Because you also had that from the crit anyway.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'll take it where I can get it. I figure this is my last turn. As he looks around, he notices that his team is remarkably close to the stands. He's not sure what's happening, but
You got this.
So what we have here is we got a Cloud Giant who looks at the Fire Giant and goes, "I need to flex on you a little bit." So we're gonna have a little fun because this is a showcase. Cloud Giants have telekinesis, and telekinesis can do an interesting thing if it works. So he's gonna have a contested spellcasting check for a strength check, which is in the Fire Giant's favor, but
Fair.
it's going to be, you got to try it, right? So this is the charisma check from the Cloud Giant. It's pretty good. And then we need a strength check from the Fire Giant.
I don't have a 25 strength.
Unfortunately, he passed.
Oh,
But for the showcase, we're going to pretend he failed.
Hey.
Because what you can do with telekinesis on a Cloud Giant is you look at a martial character who's wearing full plate mail. And the way the rules for telekinesis work is you can target the plate mail and pull it off of the creature.
I mean, it checks
That's
out.
amazing.
I mean, yeah.
Because it doesn't say, because it's one of the few things that can target worn or carried things, and it says specifically in telekinesis, you can pull it away.
now, is there a savings throw if you're targeting an object that is being worn?
The saving throw is on the
Nope.
Fire Giant to hold on to it.
Ah, I see. Okay.
It's not a save. It's a contested check, which is very good for
Okay.
bards.
Okay. Gotcha.
But yeah, yep, right there.
Cool.
It's a very fun spell, and now this Fire Giant's plate mail is over here.
What do fire
yeah.
giants wear under their plate mail?
Not much, but we're keeping this family friendly.
Yes.
He's got a Gambleson on. We'll go with that.
Okay,
Sister Lucy.
That's where
Okay.
our mind goes. Jeez.
Sorry. Yeah, well, I was thinking like he had like footy pajamas or something on, like with one of the butt flaps. That's kind of where my mind was going. But
Let's just say Shrimp has never felt smaller than right now. So.
Oh no.
Okay, Sister Lucy's gonna move up here, and she's gonna, with her action, she's gonna slam a potion of greater healing into Montoya. And she's like, "This is not time for sleeping. Like, you really need to like wake up here." So she's gonna hit that. And there we go, 16 points of healing, Montoya. And then she's gonna look over at Shrimp, and she's like, "We have not abandoned you." And she's going to. I mean, what do I have? I have a healing word. That's a ranged spell, so it's not the highest of hit points, but you know, maybe it'll give him another round. And she's like, "Be blessed." So you can take 17 points of healing.
I mean, that's
good.
That's twice as much on a barbarian, yeah.
Oh,
that's
nice.
Pretty good. That's pretty good for a healing word.
Yeah, that's amazing for a healing word. I mean, upcast.
Even upcast, that's pretty good for a healing word.
Yeah. Redemption of my fireball. Obviously, this is Sister Lucy's true calling is not just burning things. She's gonna
the light cleric that heals people. Oh.
Yeah, right.
You just have to learn that in Barovia at one point.
Yeah. Burn an ancient countryside.
Okay.
And I'm done. Sorry.
All right.
No, I'm done.
That brings us to our friendly to you guys again, Frost Giant. Who's got 2 targets in range, and we're gonna see which one he wants to swing at. So Shrimp, high or low, Barry?
Come on.
We're going low. It's low on a D100. I mean.
All right, so 18. Oh yes, you went reckless. Hold on, let's check. Yeah. Nope, not a critical. For 11 points of slashing, and you're still up because of that healing word.
Still up.
Nice.
And then 25.
That'll hit.
For 27. Cut to 13.
We're barely hanging in there.
Wow.
Just before the start of the next round, I think that's a good place to cut the fight, because we saw a good bit of what the Giants can do, and now we
all heard him tap out. He's tapping out. We win.
That's right.
I was hoping that the Giant was going to fail on the whole, pass on the being knocked down prone, because that would just ask, like, he didn't fall. It's inconceivable.
You were waiting for it. All right, so, we've got, these are just the 5 like main giants in air quotes. There are other types of giants that never got touched on from all different kinds of various books and sources and such. The other things that are classified as giants are ogres, ettins,
trolls.
Which one's that?
Trolls
are giants as well, actually. Yeah, that's right. That's the one I was that I had on the tip of my tongue. I even looked at it on my screen and still couldn't remember the words.
It's Friday.
Yeah. So we got that. So those are like, smaller ones. They're large size. They're still bigger than anyone in the party, unless you've got a rune knight or someone that's enlarged. But they're small for giants. And then they've got some like more interesting like variations on the giants. Like you've got the fire giant. I think it's called the Devastator, which's got the double shields, runs up and crashes into people with spike shields. Those are fun. That sort of thing. Anybody got any fun giant facts or anything they want to add?
Can you go through the rankings, like what the?
Oh, sure.
You mentioned like a couple, but like what's
you mean?
So there's so in Storm King's Thunder, which is by far my favorite printed adventure that Wizards of the Coast has released
for 5th edition.
That I've personally run. I've played through twice and run myself twice. It's a really good campaign.
Cool.
It goes through the ordering for giants, and it's got the top of the ordering. The kings of the pecking order are, as we said during the combat, is the storm giants. They're the strongest. They're the smartest. They're the biggest. Like they're even just in physical size. They either live really, really high up in the mountains where like no one can really get to without like special equipment or spells or anything like that, or they live really, really, really far down deep in the ocean in palaces because they can breathe air and water. Next down on the line, we got Cloud Giants. Cloud Giants are the second biggest. They're the most devious of them. They're the like the second smartest. They're considered the trickster giants. They control the weather, and they're known for they've got these cloud castles that fly around, and they're basically mobile bases that the Cloud Giants live on. They've got these big control crystals that they use for power and propulsion that can be on various things. Usually, they're actually souls of their ancestors that power them. It's interesting and to dig into, which is a little bit. I don't want to go into too many things because that's a pretty good spoiler for Storm King's Thunder. And then the next down the line are the Fire Giants, as we said. They're the smiths. They've got all the heavy armor. They're the hardest to hit of the giants. They've got a big great sword. Next in line is strength and size and all the other physical attributes. The one we didn't put in here is the one that's next on the order. It's actually Stone Giants, but those ones are a little bit more. They're a little bit more passive. Tend to be like better thinkers. They build like sculptures and stuff out of stone. They're less warfare. They're less about warfare. Yeah, unless you remove their plate armor with telekinesis. Yeah, that's a good point. Cyclops are also giants. As I catch up on looking through the chat, it's another one for Morians as well.
Demogorgon, yeah.
Are Demogorgons classified as giants as well?
Okay. Yes, they are. Yeah.
I couldn't remember if that was a giant or not.
Yeah, that's one of the odd ones there.
Yeah, for sure.
Another cool fact about giants is they hate dragons with a passion.
Oh yeah, we're gonna finish the ordering. After the stone giants are the frost giants. They actually have a thing where they're opposite of the fire giants in a couple of different ways. One of them being that while the fire giants live on crafting and making things out of metal and such, the frost giants actually have a taboo on that. If you're not making things out of leather or you're not making things out of bone, they don't want it. And then lowest on the pecking order, as we said, are the hill giants. They're the weakest they're the weakest of the bunch by far. They're the smallest, and they don't have any equipment. They're by far the dumbest, and they have very low standards for equipment, and all they really care about is finding their next meal.
Yeah.
Yep. They back to the dragons topic, because that's a big thing.
Yeah, but the hill giants do team up with ogres and the like. The lesser giants.
Because they're like, I'm bigger than you, at
lesser
least.
kin.
Yeah.
But yeah, dragons.
Yeah, they kind of like fought one giant war.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the natural enemies of the large scale world of like big powerful creatures. Giants actually like form bands to go hunt dragons and vice versa. They do not like each other at all.
Yeah, it's like aliens versus Predator.
Anybody else got anything to add about that?
Yeah.
Is there a reason for the hate?
Giants used to rule everything in the ancient giant empire of Astoria, which the dragons were like, hey, how about we own everything instead? And they disagreed violently.
Okay, that's the reason.
Yeah, and that's one of the interesting things I always liked about the giants. When you first meet them, you meet the lesser ones and hill giants, where they're pretty stupid and everything else. But then as you meet the higher, more difficult ones, they're extremely intelligent and high wisdom. And you find out that they are one of the first civilizations out there. And actually, they are a civilization that has fallen apart and scattered. So I know a lot of the D&D adventures and stuff is about them reclaiming some of that lost.
Yeah, like the Anam the Allfather, which is like the deity of the giants that created the ordning. The ordning is basically to keep them in line and to like effectively supposedly reunite them against the small folk, is how they put it. But the giants all vie for power, and it doesn't quite work out, which is good for all the other races in the Forgotten Realms.
Season 5 of Adventures League was kind of hand in hand with the Storm King's Thunder as the hardcover. And of course, it also features a lot of interactions with giants. And some of my favorite adventures are definitely from Season 5. And without giving too much away, you can learn things from giants. You can experience other planes with giants. So
Yeah, there's the cloud giants. Some of them they do have there are other like classifications of some of the other giants as well. There's a cloud giant spellcaster that can basically have the spell contact other planes, which is very interesting for the like just for like role play aspects and like just things for building stories and building worlds. They're like giants. They get the perception of that they're these like big dumb creatures that just come hit things, but that's really only the lower tier ones. All the David was saying, all the higher tier ones are incredibly like intelligent and cunning and powerful. On top of that, which is again like it was one of those things where you're more used to seeing them as brutes as opposed to civilization makers.
Yeah, I think that lore stuff is pretty interesting. I mean, as a DM, as you talk about, maybe homebrewing different ideas and stuff for your campaigns. I mean, the notions of dragons playing the players off of, go with that giant. Maybe they're a polymorph dragon and they're trying to start a war with the giants again. Or, maybe you want your party to fight a dragon, but they're way too weak. So maybe you weaken it with, it's fighting dragon someplace else, Skyrim style.
Mm-hmm.
I think the cool thing with some of these huge creatures and larger is like when your party sees it, you get a lot of those panic moments, right? When you're just a medium creature and that you see that giant for the first time. And I think that's a really cool experience. So even finding ways in your campaigns, even if the players are too low level, of maybe weakening them or having them be subservient to something else or, political intrigue, there's a lot of things you can do with those. And I think that lore with the dragons is really handy because those are two things that like every D&D player is here for, right? Giants and dragons. And if you can start playing those two off each other, like that's going to make for some really cool campaign moments.
Yeah, like when you reach down into your mini bucket and you're like, yeah, crashing through the trees is this guy, and you put it on the table, and your players who've never fought one before, and they're like, ah, you're right. It's a great moment. It's definitely like having done that with two different groups of like relatively new players. Like, yeah, it's a fun moment.
Another fun time going back to those season 5 adventures. There's an adventure called Giants Diplomacy. I don't know if anyone here has played it, but it instead of fighting with giants, you basically join a giant party, and there's all sorts of different contests, including drinking contests.
Yep. Test of strength, test of strength, and then drinking.
Of course. Yeah. So, giants are people too, so to speak. So, they don't always have to fight,
that one's really fun because they're like, we're gonna put our small giant against these small folk and watch our small giant like crush them. You're basically competing against an ogre as in like contest of strength and stuff, and it's pretty fun.
And that other adventure I was talking about, that's a classic in season 5, is Forgotten Traditions.
Yeah, that module has more lore on giants than most other like things. I think the majority of stuff that I've learned about giants, I've learned from that module. Yeah. It's a very good Adventures League module.
If you go to dmsguild.com, you can download these adventures. You can just filter the list by Adventures League adventures. And if you type in DDAL05, you can get the series of adventures that make up this
number 10, 05-10 for
Forgotten Traditions is
ton of lore in that module.
Yeah, it's actually Forgotten Traditions is 11. Giants Diplomacy is number 10. But yes, 10 and 11 are my faves.
They're definitely two of the better ones in that series.
Yeah, the one I tend to run most is later on with Crypt, which has its own different things, like getting into the, hey, I'm such an old giant that I've decided to become a storm just because I can. I'm like, that's you only want to do that with like the older dragons, like last time, where they become one with nature. So
the and yeah, like I think the very final ones, they have like the death giants too, which are like another subset that's not very common, but yeah, basically undead storm giants. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, just make any giant undead is a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, they do that. Yeah, then like the undead frost giants in a certain campaign hit like monster trucks when you're level 3. All right. Any closing final thoughts from anyone? Any questions from the chat? Anything to go? We got a couple minutes left.
I didn't see anything in Q&A today.
All right.
But apparently we forgot about Andre the Giant. I mean, I was
order. I was like, "Where's Andre?"
Several times.
Yeah. Like
Thank
be a Goliath.
All right. So
and try to wrestle with giants.
yeah, you go Goliath Rune Knight. You go unarmed fighter. You take one level of rogue, so you can get expertise in athletics.
You have to
And
take
someone has a
Tavern
large
for your cage matches.
But yeah, so then we'll use the last few minutes that we have to discuss cow meteors.
It's a hilarious technical rule.
So the optional rule in Tasha's allows things that when they fall a certain height to do half damage if they land in another creature's square, half the falling damage that they take. The spell conjure animals doesn't say that the animals have to be on the ground. So you conjure a whole bunch of CR0 cows and drop them from like I think the spell range is 120 feet, or is it 60 feet?
60
Either
feet
way, you're dropping like 20 cows on a group of things, and it's cow meteors. And I will never allow that.
We're
It's
a
an
really
optional
weird
rule
game
that I
of
just won't
Twister.
use.
I mean, technically, Water Walk does the opposite. You just
Yes.
put cows underwater and then just full on underwater mines.
Get depth charges with cows.
Yeah.
That sounds like a catastrophe.
Yep.
Wow.
Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow.
Yeah, so I guess
All right, so
remarks,
that's going to conclude.
Yeah, for closing remarks, I was just going to say we run Adventures League events alongside what we do here, with the fan meetups and at Fan Expo. UniteTheFactions.com. You can find us, our Discord server. Click on events to see what's up and coming. If you want to volunteer as a DM or join us as a player, we're actually also going to Stormcrow Manor in Toronto next month. So, there are a few spots left. If you haven't got a seat, we're playing Last Call at the Awning Portal, which is a great role-playing and puzzle-heavy adventure, but in more of a solving a mystery or kind of way, more so than, tricky puzzles that are meant to bend your mind.
Which I hate as a DM and player. I much prefer the puzzles that you can solve in character, which Last Call does have.
Yeah, totally. And for more fan meetups, you can just hit up fanexpohq.com. And next month, do we have a teaser for what we might talk about or no?
Depends. Do you want to do a talk or do you want to do another Monster of the Month?
Yeah, I wonder what our viewers think. So give us what you want to see, and we'll see if that aligns with what we've got in mind. Fighting God. Well, I guess we're playing adventure. Spoilers beware. Exactly.
Ooh.
Inspiration for anyone.
Yeah.
All right. That's the aspect of Tiamat, Dendar, which is low-key aspect of Tiamat.
Totally.
How to make friends and use cow meteors. There we go.
Amazing.
All right, so thank you for watching. Catch us next time on fan meetups for another edition of Monster of the Month, as we're probably going to fight a god. All right.
Fun
I'm gonna
times.
go start brewing that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody.